Welcome all. My name is Roshan Parwar and I'm assistant professor at GR Kare College of Law, Margam, Goa. And we are discussing one of the important convention under children and law, which is one of the important subject in semester 3 for LLB degree and semester 7 for BA LLB 5-year program. Now this convention, okay, what we are going to learn is from article 12 to 40 and it comes under module 5. Outline of this subject is convention pertaining to rights of children, preamble of the convention, theme of the convention and various rights of children covered under the convention. Learning objectives are students will be able to understand the role of United Nations, understand and analyze the nature of convention, analyze the applicability of the convention, understanding the important aspect of the convention. All right. Article 12 speaks about respect for views of the child, and this article encourages adult to listen to the opinion of children. Now opinion of children does matters, okay, and it is a responsibility of adults to listen to the opinion of children's. Child's right to expression and opportunity to be heard in judicial and administrative proceedings. Now, the right to expression, of course, it has to be there. And when it comes to the opportunity, that means a fair or reasonable opportunity shall be given to a child if he is a party to any judicial or administrative proceedings. Article 13 is about right to freedom of expression, all right, and this right to freedom, okay, is not absolute, okay, it is qualified, means there are certain restrictions, okay, like how we have, okay, right to expression or freedom to expression under our constitution, which is with restricted things. Similarly, under this convention also, it is not an absolute right. Children have a right to give and share information as long as that information does not harm them. Alright. Children have responsibility to respect others' rights, freedoms and reputation. Here the role of a parents comes to place a very important aspect, okay, that is whatever they learn, whatever values are being incorporated by parents or guardians at home, obviously child is going to portray the same. Article 14 speaks about child's right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. Alright. Now as far as religion and conscience and thing is concerned, basically child acquired the religion of the parents. But when the child attains certain maturity and if you wish to follow some other religion, obviously there has to be a provision or there has to be a freedom, okay, for him to follow other religion as well. Parents must guide them and provide moral guidance. Moral guidance is very important because whatever has been taught to them will be used or utilized, okay, by them in the later half of their life or to the rest of their life, in fact. Article 15 is about freedom of association. Now here we look into children have a right to meet together, join groups and form organizations as long as it does not stop others from enjoying their rights. Here there has to be an opportunity or a freedom has to be given for a person, even if he is a child, to form a group, to come together, all right, without disturbing others, in fact. Right to privacy comes under Article 16. Now as far as right to privacy is concerned, children have a right to privacy. Law must protect them from attack on their good name, families and homes. Now as far as, okay, children's right to privacy is concerned, then there shall not be any unlawful intervention, okay, Article 17 speaks about access to information, mass media. Now it is a responsibility of the government, okay, to ensure, okay, that children have a right to get information which is important, okay, for their well-being. For instance, if a child wants or undertakes any research, they are free to, okay, do so. Material, okay, shall be made available, it shall be accessible. Government must encourage mass media such as radio, television, newspapers, internet sources. Now these are the various sources, okay, through which you are going to get information, and it is a responsibility of the government to ensure that yes, these sources, okay, are available, okay, for disposal, okay, at the disposal of children. Children must be provided information in the language they understand. The language of a child is important because when a person is small, he tends to learn easily from his local language or the language which is basically used at their home by parents and all. And finally, children must have access to children books. There may be an access you shall made available so that children can also go through those books. Article 18 speaks about parental responsibilities, state assistance. As we all know that how important the parental role is in developing, in shaping a child. If you incorporate good values or morals in your child, then definitely tomorrow they will become a better individual. So both parents must share responsibility and consider best for the child. Whatever is best for the child, then it shall be taken into consideration. Government must respect the responsibility of parents. Respecting the responsibility of the parents is another important aspect, and the government shall not neglect it. Government must make available support service for children. Support service is something which is important for the growth and development of a child, and through this convention ultimately it is a well-being, it is a development of the child which is given importance. Article 19 speaks about protection from all forms of violence. Children must be protected from physical and mental violence. They shall not be subject to this physical or mental violence. Any form of discipline using violence is unacceptable. There shall not be any form of violence which can be used against a child. It is directly unacceptable. In most countries, there are laws which define what sort of punishment is abusive. Almost we also have in India for that matter. Article 20 speaks about children deprived of family environment. How to deal with all those children who are deprived of family environment? Is there any provision which has to be made? Is the government responsible for that? Yes, here the government also has a responsibility. Families may not look after children. Children must be provided special care. Their ethnic group, culture, religion, language must be respected. Of course children may come from various ethnic groups. Their culture may be different. They may be from other religion. The language what they use will be completely different from the language of yours. So it doesn't matter. Even though they are different, you are not supposed to treat them differently. Alright, they shall be treated equally and must be respected. Article 21 is all about adoption. Now there has to be a provision in your laws wherein a child must be given in adoption in case of orphans, deserted children children must receive care and protection in adoption and foster care. Concern must be to protect their best interest. Again the focus is on best interest of a child. We definitely required to protect their best interest. They may be adopted in the same country in which they are born or taken out. Alright. Article 22 is all about refugee children. There are several international conventions and international treaties on refugees. But when it comes to refugee children, there is a provision under Article 22. It says that refugees are the person forced to leave a country due to war or conflict happening in that country. Children must be provided special help if they are refugees. Alright. Then Article 23 speaks about children with disabilities. Of course, there may be a certain section of children who may be having some deformities, special needs, etc. What about those children? Are they comes or are they included in this convention? Is there any provision? Yes, Article 23 speaks about that. Children who have any kind of special disability have the right to special kind of care and support, and here the role of government and parents is going to play an extremely important role. Article 24 is all about health and healthcare services. Now, health of a person is important. It comes under, if you look into our Indian Constitution part, it is there under Article 21. We are supposed to live in a healthy environment. Children must be provided good health care, safe drinking water, nutritious food, clean and safe environment, and help to stay healthy. Health is important. Health will always is going to indirectly reflect upon your psychological aspect. So of course you need to provide a better healthy condition for a child. Article 25 speaks about review of treatment in care. Living arrangement must be appropriate for those children who do not live with parents. Obviously, there must be an appropriate arrangement, okay, for that. Care and treatment should always be based on the best interest of child. Article 26 is all about social security. Children or their guardians must be provided with social security. Adequate standard of living comes under Article 27. We are not talking about the highest standard of living, but we talk about adequate standard of living. What is adequate over here? It is nothing but satisfying the basic necessities, all right, which may include your food, clothing, housing, and of course education, which we are going to study next. That is right to education under Article 28, which speaks that primary education must be free. Primary education must be given free of cost to every child, all right. This article speaks about that. Discipline in school must respect children's dignity. Respecting children's dignity is another important aspect covered under this particular article. Young people must be encouraged to reach the highest level of education. If any child wish to pursue higher education, then encouragement shall be given. At the same time, there must be provision in your country to receive that particular high level of education. Article 29 speaks about goals of education. Children's education should develop each child's personality. Development of personality is ultimate objective. Talents and abilities to the fullest, there shall be enough of exposure to develop these talents and abilities. Encourage children to respect other human rights. Encouragement is received mainly from the parents. Help them to live peacefully. We all want to live peacefully. So teach or learn your children to live peacefully. Ultimately, they will prove to be a better citizens. Respect values and culture of parents, of the parents. Article 30 is all about children of minorities and indigenous group. Now what if you belong to a children of minority or indigenous group? Now minorities have a right to learn about their own culture. Of course, you shall know about your own culture, language and religion. You shall not be deprived of that. This right applies to everyone. Article 31 is all about leisure, play and culture. We are not supposed to be 24/7 into schooling and all these things, but we also required certain amount of time to be spent on leisure, play and culture. That is, children have a right to relax, to play and join cultural and artistic or other recreational activities. It is important for the overall growth and development of a child. Article 32 is all about child labor. Government may protect children which might affect their health and harm their health and education. If the child is working, it must not affect their own right. Article 33 is all about drug abuse. Again, one of the dangerous place to be a part or to be a victim of drug abuse. Government must protect children from drug abuse and drug trade. Article 34, another important area, that is protection from sexual exploitation. Government must protect children from all forms of sexual exploitation. There shall be machinery in place, proper rules has to be there, laws has to be there in place, of course, to so that the children or the young children because they are the most vulnerable in society, which can be easily become the victim of sexual exploitation, they need to be protected. There is an optional protocol on sale of children, child prostitution and child pornography. Article 35 is all about abduction, sale and trafficking. Government must take measures to ensure children are not abducted and trafficked. Article 36 is about other forms of exploitation. There shall be protection from all the forms of exploitation. Children should be protected from any kind of activity that takes advantage of them or harm their development and welfare. Detention and punishment is under Article 37. That is, no one should be allowed to punish children in a cruel or harmful way. Children who are offenders must not be treated cruelly. Cruelty is something which shall be always you should keep away from children. Child offenders must not be sentenced to death. Even if you are an offender as a child, then you cannot be sentenced to death. War and armed conflict under Article 38. Government must protect children affected by war. Children under 15 years must not be recruited in armed forces. There is an age for recruitment in the armed forces. Anyone below the age of 15 cannot be recruited there. Optional protocol on involvement of children in armed conflict. And finally, ban on employment of children in armed conflict below 18 years. Article 39 is about rehabilitation of child victim. There has to be a provision, okay, wherein there has to be a chance has to be given, okay, for rehabilitation of child victim. Children who are at abused or exploited should receive help, okay, to recover physically and psychologically. There shall be a reintegration in the society because they are also a part of the society. Health, self-respect and dignity must be restored. And finally, juvenile justice. Children must receive fair and just system which provides justice to children. Government must set a minimum age of criminal responsibility, quick judicial or other alternative proceedings method. And these are the references. Thank you.